Hey, welcome back to How to Barbecue Right. I'm Malcolm Reed. I got my buddy Richard Fergola, Fergolicious BBQ, in the house. Richard, we're over at my buddy Mark's house because it's supposed to storm on us, but we're going to cook some brisket points today, right?
Oh, I'm excited, man. Woke up, watched Rocky, fired up. We're at the porch here in Mississippi, and we're going to do what I love to do, which is Kansas City burn-in.
Let's get to cooking. So, Fergie, we got a whole brisket point here. This is how this piece of meat came, right?
Yeah, these they come just like this, already trimmed out. They come 3 to a pack, very well marbled. Looks good. You just got to do some minor trimming, and I think that's what we're going to get into right now.
Awesome, man.
So, I mean, really all I do, you see all this little, this all surface fat right here. I'll kind of trim some of this off and kind of clean it up a little bit. But I'm just going to get my hand up underneath this, and I'm going to get some of this surface fat off because we want to get, we want to get our rub on that meat. And it's okay to leave a little bit of fat on there because there's a lot of that running through this brisket point. Sometimes I'll even just try to, even these up a little bit.
Yeah,
when it's
out,
where it thins out. I mean, you're not going to get a lot of burn ends from this end piece down here after it renders and cooks down. So a lot of times I'll just come in and just kind of trim that right off. And then a lot of times on these brisket points, you'll come right over here and you'll see like a tendon of that cartilage right there. And if you don't trim that off, when these start to cook, it's gonna contract and it's gonna curl up, and it'll kind of have a weird look to it. So I just come right over here, take that right off. And then on the bottom, we got just a thin layer of fat. We're gonna keep that on there. That's gonna render down, that's gonna melt, that's gonna become part of that final product. So now what we're gonna put on it, a little bit of, people always make fun of me how I say it, Worcestershire sauce, And I do this with my briskets too, man, like even in competition, I use this as a an applicator for my rub, but it's also a layer of flavor, and I don't go crazy with it, but it pairs really well with beef. But I'll just put some of this on there and rub this in. Once I got that everywhere I want, I'm gonna come in with my OG. This is my Fergolicious Original, and this is gonna be the color. This is gonna have just a little bit of sweetness on it, but I'm gonna go fairly, what I call like a medium application. So then we're gonna follow that up with the SPG. This is salt, pepper, garlic, and butter. I'm gonna come right on the back side of this with just the same application.
Marbled up brisket point like that can take a lot of salt and seasoning.
Oh, absolutely, yep. And we're gonna let that sweat.
So we're gonna fire old Clyde up here, that swine lice hybrid outlaw pit. We're gonna start with the bed of Royal Oak briquettes in this pit. Just want a good layer. This is gonna be our initial coals to get things hot. Once the pit starts coming up, we'll start feeding it sticks too. We're gonna start off with some pecan and a little cherry, give you some nice good smoke for them burn ends.
All right, so our brisket point has been sweating. We got that rub in there. It's got all that flavor. We're gonna put it on the left side of this outlaw smoker today. And I always like to put the fat cap up when I do brisket points and get that nice color on that fat side. And I'm gonna put the thicker part towards the firebox. And we're just gonna lay these directly on the grate, just like that. Bunch them up a little bit, close her up, and we're ready to roll. All right, so our brisket points have been on for about 4 hours now. We've been rolling at about 275, 300 degrees, and we've got the color that we want. I'm not really worried about temperature at this time. I'm just worried about color. And if you come in here right now, you're gonna see we got some fantastic color on these brisket points. We got lots of nice smoke. They're starting to tender a little bit here, so we're ready to wrap. So I like to put the fat cap, I like to put it down, and I'm gonna take a little bit of my Fergolicious SPG, and I'm just gonna put this on the foil around this. Is gonna help develop an au jus a little bit, all right? And we've got, in this mixture here, we've got just some regular Campbell's beef consomme, and we got some Cosmos brisket mop that we've got mixed together. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in here with my 2 foil wraps. I'm gonna wrap this up. And then we're just gonna come in here and pour about maybe half a cup, just eyeball it. And then one thing, a little trick I like to do is I like to come in here in these corners, and I just like to turn those corners up, turn that around and make sure I don't lose any of that au jus in there. So now we can actually turn our pit up just a little bit, and then we're gonna take this, it'll probably take about another hour, hour and a half. So we got this brisket point wrapped up. We're gonna put it right back on the same spot. We're gonna get the other ones wrapped up and we'll be ready to roll. Right now we're just looking for 210, which we got right here. Yeah, so we're just putting a little bit of the au jus that was in there that we mixed up and mixing this with some Killer Hogs, the barbecue sauce. This is just gonna add a little bit of extra layer of flavor on these burn ends, but I wanna take a little bit of that beef flavor, add it to this sauce. So let's get these guys out here. Oh man.
Ooh, you're getting that facial.
We got some super wiggle here, bro.
Oh, this slice.
Woo!
Like butter.
That knife's just running right through that.
Oh man, I wanna eat one just like that. The burn end may be truly the best bite in barbecue.
I'm telling you right now, man, it's like, Every time I cook them, I'm like, I look at that. You can see the fat right here. You can see the moisture content on that brisket.
Bark on one side.
It's got bark on this one side. All that juice rolling right through there.
Now you kind of cut them in like 1-inch strips.
About 1 inch, yeah.
And then you come back and just cube that.
Just cube this up. I don't like to make them super big. I like, I want to keep that bite size.
Yeah.
That right there is like a perfect burn end. And we'll get into this thicker part of it. And this is that moment of truth right here when the knife's running through and I can just feel
it's not tearing.
It's not resisting much to me. It's not tearing. And usually when I get to these taller ones, I'll knock these down a little bit and cut these in half.
Oh, that little piece just fell off.
Oh, you should probably try.
Yeah.
You should probably test that out, man. So once we put these in the foil pan, now we can hit them with a little bit of sauce. And then we're gonna come back in with the Fergolicious SPG just to give them one last pop. It doesn't.
A little buttery note I noticed.
Buttery note. Well, yeah, it doesn't have to be much. Hit that. Shake these up.
You gotta make a big pile of burn ends, right?
Hell yeah, this is.
If I'm ordering them, I want a plate full, just all stacked up. All right, Fergie, can we try them, man? These burn ends look too good piled up here.
Oh man, I can never resist. When they get on the cutting board, I gotta be tasting them. So let's get in there, man.
All right, I see one right here with my name on
Oh
it.
hell yeah, man.
Dude, it's soft. Beefy, savory. The salt and the pepper, the garlic from the SPG comes through, the bump, a little butteriness. It's rich, got a little bit of a sweetness to it, but it's not overly sweet.
No.
That's how you do a burn end right, man.
Oh yeah, and that royal oak charcoal gives you that wood flavor. We had the pecan and cherry.
Get the pecan smoke, a little of the cherry flavor too.
Oh yeah.
That's some fantastic burn ends, man. I appreciate you coming out.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Showing me how to make Kansas City style burn ends. Man, where can they find you?
So we can get these at KC Grilling Company in Olathe, Kansas at kcgrillingco.com or KC Grilling Co. on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. It's all right there, man. You can come see us in Kansas City or hit us up.
Hey, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us today. Y'all know y'all can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, even doing some TikTok. And Shell and I will talk about this burn-in recipe on our weekly podcast. Richard, I'm going to have to get you on that too.
I love it. I'll be there.
All right, we'll see y'all next time. All right, man. These dudes are too good. They ain't going to last.